Back with you on SportsCenter, where the NBA postseason continues to deliver high drama, seismic upsets, and unforgettable performances. The Golden State Warriors season has officially come to an end, falling to the Minnesota Timberwolves in a stunning reversal of fortunes. After winning Game 1, the Warriors dropped 4 consecutive games, a collapse unprecedented under the leadership of head coach Steve Kerr. For the first time in his 152-game playoff coaching career, Kerr has experienced a 4-game losing streak. Only legends Phil Jackson and Red Auerbach have coached more playoff games before suffering such a fate, and in fact, Auerbach never did. Steve Kerr, ever composed yet visibly emotional, spoke on the fight his team showed despite the abrupt conclusion. "Proud of our guys," he said. "They battled all the way through." Reflecting on the turbulence that marked their season, highlighted by injuries, inconsistencies, and questions about age and window contention, Kerr acknowledged a harsh reality that in the playoffs, health often dictates destiny. "Jimmy /Butler changed our season. He gave us a shot," Kerr noted, alluding to the mid-season boost Butler brought before the team was again ravaged by injury. It wasn't just about losses. It was about opportunities squandered. Golden State entered the postseason believing, rightfully so, that they still had championship DNA. They had survived a grueling 7-game first-round series against Houston and were in form until the devastating injury to Stephen Curry shifted the entire landscape. The Warriors, known for their resilience, could only wonder how far they might have gone if Curry had remained healthy. Draymond Green, asked if he still believed in the team's championship aspirations after Butler trade, didn't hesitate. "Absolutely. My belief hasn't changed. But everyone gets better in the offseason, and we're going to have to get better too." The Timberwolves, meanwhile, have rewritten their own history. For the first time ever, they've made back-to-back appearances in the Western Conference Finals, and they've done it behind the maturity and all-around excellence of Anthony Edwards. In this decisive game, Edwards delivered 22 points and 12 assists, a playoff career high in assists, and joined Kevin Garnett as the only Wolves players to surpass 1,000 career postseason points. Minnesota's offense was surgical, shooting 63% overall and a staggering 77% from inside the arc, the highest percentage by any team in a playoff game during the shot clock era. They poured in 31 layups and dunks, tying a record for most such baskets since player tracking began in 2014. Minnesota's depth was on full display. Julius Randle was electric off the bench, and Jaden McDaniels brought the house down with explosive slams in transition. They tallied 36 assists on 49 made field goals, a staggering level of ball movement and unselfishness. They've become a team built on cohesion, maturity, and defense. As Edwards put post-game, "It's not about who scores 30. It's about who defends, who limits the other team to one shot, and who comes together. We did that." On the other side of the bracket, the Boston Celtics faced their own defining moment without their superstar, Jason Tatum. Down 3-1 in the series against the Knicks and missing their offensive cornerstone due to Achilles surgery, the Celtics summoned an inspired response in Game 5. In front of a roaring TD Garden crowd, they reminded everyone why their depth is the envy of the league. Derek White lit the fuse, draining 4 threes in the opening quarter and finishing with 34 points. Jaylen Brown took over as the playmaker, posting a career-high 12 assists and setting the emotional tone. When we heard about JT, the air left the room, Brown admitted, "But we weren't going to fold." He texted us before the game. "We knew we had to respond. None of us wanted to go home." The Celtics were galvanized. Luke Kornet, a seldom-used big man, emerged as the unlikely hero. Inserted into the starting lineup in the second half due to Kristaps Porzingis' ongoing illness, Kornet erupted defensively, swatting 5 shots in the third quarter alone. He finished the game with 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 blocks, joining elite Celtics company as only the 4th player in franchise playoff history with at least 7 blocks in a game. Kornet was modest post-game, saying he simply focused on altering shots, adding, "Sometimes you have a hot hand when you're blocking shots." Boston took control with a 13-point lead late in the third and never relinquished it. White became the first Celtic ever with 6+ threes in back-to-back playoff games. Offensively and defensively, The team executed with precision. Now, the series shifts back to Madison Square Garden, where the Celtics will try to do what hasn't been done since the 2020 Denver Nuggets: erase a 3-1 deficit in the playoffs. Meanwhile, New York has its own demons to exorcise. They're aiming for their first conference finals appearance since 2000, a 25-year drought looming over the franchise. Jalen Brunson continues to be their North Star, contributing in scoring and facilitation at elite levels. But injuries, once again, could become the series' defining narrative. For Golden State, the offseason begins with soul-searching. Questions about the future of the dynasty, about Klay Thompson's free agency, Draymond's controversial behavior, including a $50,000 fine for questioning officiating integrity, and the health of Stephen Curry now become the dominant headlines. Their championship window remains open, but it's no longer a given. As Kerr candidly put it, "You always need a little luck. We've had it before." But this time, it wasn't on our side. The Timberwolves, however, are not relying on luck. They're relying on depth, discipline, and a star who is ascending rapidly. Anthony Edwards of Minnesota are 4 wins away from their first ever NBA Finals appearance, and they've earned every ounce of respect along the way.